Good morning, all. Welcome to this weekly edition of Commodities Podcast with me, Ravindra Rao, from Kotak Securities Commodities Research Desk. We have seen a muted move in both precious metals, gold and silver, mainly because of a recovery in US dollar. We have seen gold falling by 2.1% in the previous week, whereas silver declined by around 3.9%. Gold has failed to sustain above the dollar 2000 an ounce level, and that is why we saw some kind of a profit taking coming in. Recovery in US dollar was the major factor because after hitting close to 91.70, the US dollar index again rose and moved back above 93 levels. The second reason was the lack of ETF buying. We have seen since past few weeks ETF buying has been muted, and this has not supported gold prices because we have seen the major move, the up move in gold prices was on back of ETF buying. The third reason was the weak consumer demand, as it can be seen from the discounts in Indian and Chinese markets. The US dollar has recovered from the 2-year lows majorly because of the ECB's concern about euro strength, Brexit uncertainty, upbeat factory activity data from US, and the decline in US unemployment rate. However, the correction that we have seen in the past few sessions in the US equity markets, mixed economic data from major economies, rising virus cases, and increased US tensions are supporting gold prices at lower levels. We expect a choppy trade to continue in gold as US dollar, although it is moving up, we expect the prices, the US dollar might take a resistance at higher levels and it might move lower again, and that might keep gold supported at lower levels. That's why we expect a re-emergence of buying at lower levels near $1,900, $1,910. But if it sustains below $1,900, say if it closes below $1,900, then we might see some more downside in gold. Till then, we expect a broad range, which will be in the zone of 1,900 to 2,000 on the higher side. As I mentioned, the safe haven safe haven demand might keep gold supported at lower levels. As the US dollar upside may be restricted as Fed's emphasis on keeping interest rate low for a long time might prove positive for gold prices going ahead. The major event this week is ECB's monetary policy decision, which may affect the US dollar and thereby gold. ECB is expected to keep monetary policy unchanged, but its economic and monetary policy outlook may affect the currency moves, and indirectly it might impact gold prices. As mentioned earlier, silver also witnessed a sharp decline of 3.9% last week. Again, the reason being the recovery in US dollar and some ETF outflows. However, supporting prices, improving outlook for industrial demand amid pickup in industrial activity across the globe. So similar to gold, we expect a choppy trade in silver as well, and we expect that the buying interest might re-emerge at lower levels owing to improved industrial demand outlook and safe haven demand re-emerging in gold at lower levels. On the technical front, silver on the COMEX, we expect the support at $26.20, $25.80, and if it sustains below that, say if it closes below that, we might see it moving lower to $25 an ounce. However, until $26.20, $25.80 holds, we might see buying re-emerging, and on the upside, 28 would act as a stiff resistance. In case of MCX, the support remains at 66,000 for the near month, and on the upside, the resistance, the stiff resistance, is near 69,000. So we expect a range move, a broad range move in silver. And in case of gold, on the MCX, the resistance would be around 51,200, 51,300. Above that, we might see gold moving up again till 51,500 to 51,800. And on the lower side, support remains at 50,500 to 50,300. If it moves below that, we might see it moving lower till 49,950, which was the earlier low. And below that, it can even fall till 49,600 to 500 if it closes below that. Well, coming to energies, crude oil witnessed a sharp fall in the last week. The fall was around to a magnitude of around 7.4%. Crude has come down below the $40 mark, which was a psychological support, and is currently trading close to $39 per barrel. Some signs of correction in equity market, rebound in the US dollar has pressurized the prices. Price also weakened on improving production in the Gulf of Mexico after storm activity subsided. The rig counts have also risen, which is showing an improved production scenario. On the supply side, OPEC's production has risen about 1 million barrels per day in August, as the producer group reduced pace of production cuts from 9.7 million barrels per day to 7.7 million barrels per day. Whereas on the demand side, mixed economic data from major economies, rising virus cases and increased US-China tensions has dented the demand outlook. US gasoline demand is expected to ease with the end of summer driving season. However, a sixth weekly decline in US crude oil stocks and robust demand from Chinese where imports have surged to 12.6% on year in August to 47.48 million tons might support prices at lower levels. We feel crude might take support somewhere near $37.90, $38 on the NYMEX. Currently it is trading near 39, and we might see another dollar fall in case of NYMEX WTI crude, but that remains a good support, and which also is 200-day moving average support on the daily charts. So we might see a rebound from those levels, and on the higher side, the initial resistance would be around $40, which is the psychological resistance, and above that it might move up till 41 to 41.50 per barrel. On the MCX, 2820 to 2780 remains a strong support in case of the near month crude oil, and on the higher side, we might see prices taking resistance near 3050 to 3100 in case of the September crude oil contract. Key factors to look for will be the weekly inventory report, US EIA's monthly outlook and storm activity in Atlantic, and also some economic data from major economies. Lastly, in case of base metals, we have seen some volatile session in the last week. We expected base metals to stay positive, but apart from copper, zinc and nickel declined. Zinc declined by 1.3%, followed by 0.75% decline in aluminum prices and 0.5% slide in nickel prices. Copper closed 0.6% higher. Again, the major factor for metals down move was the recovery in the US dollar. Key factor that may affect US dollar movement this week are macroeconomic data from US and ECB policy meeting, as explained earlier. Key US data in focus for the week are CPI, PPI and initial jobless claims. Meanwhile, on the policy front, ECB meeting is due on Thursday, wherein ECB stance may affect Euro-USD pair, which in turn may affect commodities. Furthermore, movement in US dollar may also be impacted by Brexit talks between UK and EU. Talks between UK and EU negotiators are due to resume in London on Tuesday, but an imminent breakthrough seems unlikely. Apart from a movement in US dollar index, movement in base metals may also be impacted by lingering US-China tensions, surging virus cases globally, and demand optimism, especially from China. In China, the data has shown that the exports have risen at a healthy pace in August, while imports dropped as against expectation of modest gains. Focus now shifts to China's CPI and PPI data due later in the week. Furthermore, on fundamental front, copper prices may continue to seek support from lower stocks at LME, along with signs of tightness in physical market and worries over possible supply disruption in Chile. Whereas in case of nickel, prices may be supported by strong demand from Chinese stainless steel sector. However, higher inventories at both LME and SHFE may cap the upside. So considering the above mentioned mixed factors, we expect metals pack to note a mixed movement. However, overall bias for the metals may continue to remain positive. In case of copper, the immediate resistance is near 536, which we expect is a possible upside this week. And on the downside, the immediate support is near 520. Below that, it might again move lower till 513, 512, which was the low in the previous week. In case of nickel, the broad range would be 1,100 to 1,140, 1,150, and the extreme levels would be 1,160 on the higher side and 1,080 on the lower side. In case of zinc, on the MCX, 197 is a strong resistance. Until that holds, it will trade in a narrow range of 197 to 193. And the extreme range would be on the higher side 200, which is possible if it sustains above 197. And on the lower side, 188 to 187 is the possibility if it sustains below 192. So the broad range would be 188, 187 at the lower side and 200 on the higher side. With this, I am signing off. Have a fantastic trading week. Thank you and take care.